Hey, what's up guys? My name is Anand and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 20 effective LinkedIn advertising strategies that will supercharge your business. Now you can use these strategies not just to promote your business in terms of brand awareness, but you can also use them to generate leads, marketing qualified leads, and conversions. So let's get started. So the first and foremost, I would like to go through some of the basics of LinkedIn ads, which is what are the different types of LinkedIn ads that you can create. Now, at the most fundamental level, you can create sponsored content ads, which can include, a single image ad, a carousel ad, a video ad, or an event ad. Now, carousel ads are super interesting because it works really well for e-commerce. So if you have a bunch of products that you want to promote, then of course you can use a carousel ad where each of the product can be an image card, or it can be a series of images with some overlay text. So that's an interesting ad format, and you must have seen lately a lot of influencers and a lot of brands use carousel post so that they get a lot of engagement. So that's again a great way of utilizing your media asset. Then of course we have video ads and event ads. Now the second major category of LinkedIn ads is sponsored messaging. This is where you can use a conversion focused ads or a simple message ad. A lot of times you must have seen a message notification on your LinkedIn profile, and then when you open that inbox, you will get an ad or you will get a message from a brand where it will have a text message, and then it will have a link to sign up for a webinar or download a form or schedule a consultation. Well, that's a sponsored message ad. Again, it's a super effective way to reach your target audience using the sponsored message ads. The third major category is lead gen ads. Now again, same as Facebook lead gen ads, you can run lead generation ads on LinkedIn as well. Again, you can use the instant lead gen ads, which is basically LinkedIn will pre-populate some of the commonly asked questions like first name, last name, email address based on the information that it has. So by reducing the friction, you are able to increase your conversion rate. Again, it's a great way of generating leads. So that's your third type of ad. And then you have text and dynamic ads, which is basically the most basic form of ads, and you can use text ads, spotlight ads, or follower ads. So those are some pretty high level basics in terms of LinkedIn ad types. Now let's get started in terms of some of the powerful advertising strategies that will not just help you increase your click-through rate, it will help you to decrease your cost per acquisition and overall improve the performance of your campaign. So the first tip I would say is match your content offer with the stage. Now this is super effective because when you think about at what stage your buyers are, typically they are in the discovery and awareness stage, or they are in the conversion stage. Now let me hide my video. So as you can see, it's a conversion stage or it's in the discovery or awareness stage. So when they are in the initial stage or top of the funnel, the friction is low. So in that case, you can use a blog post, infographics, or a video, a 30-second video as the content, which will be helpful in terms of attracting a new audience. They will be able to engage with you as a brand, and it's more relevant because when you reduce your friction, that's when you will be able to engage with your audience. Now as you go down the funnel, where if you're in the middle of the funnel, then some of the useful content types would be white papers, ebooks, and SlideShare. And as you go down at the conversion stage or at the bottom of the funnel, you can use a webinar or product demo. So high friction content can be gated content, and really the point over here is to generate leads. So matching your content offer with the stage in which your buyer is or your audience are, that's a super effective way to make sure that you get the right performance. Okay, great. So the next step is create value added content offers. Now you must have noticed that when you are browsing through LinkedIn, there are some really powerful PDFs or downloadables, gated content that you might have downloaded, and you're like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted. Well, that's value added content, because when you try to match the offer with the audience that you want to reach, it will be the perfect combination. So on the right hand side, you can see like this is an e-commerce, what do you call, downloadable. It's a gated content, and you can use a similar kind of strategies for your business as well. Now this will really help you to lower your cost per lead, because it's valuable and it is matching the intent of your audience. So value added content is again a great way to offer to your audience. The next tip is optimizing your landing page for mobile. Now, most of the executives, most of the decision makers are on the go. They are on their smartphones or on their iPad. So it makes total sense to optimize your landing page for smart devices. And according to LinkedIn statistics, more than 85% engagement is through mobile on LinkedIn. So make sure that your landing page is easy to navigate on mobile. Use responsive design, font readability, user experience, all the typical, UX and UI matters in this case, because once they click on that ad and go to the landing page, it's on that landing page to make them convert. So make sure that it's highly responsive and super easy. Also, it's critical to make sure that you have your call to action button clear. Don't add too many CTAs or too many forms. Give them only one action. That's the most basic thing. If they are on the landing page, they need to take one clear action. So that's how you can optimize your landing page and improve the chances of conversions. Next tip, optimize visuals for all devices. Of course, sometimes when you are running ads on LinkedIn, you might have a different combination of ads. So make sure that, for example, optimize visuals for sponsored content for desktop, mobile, and tablet. Now, according to LinkedIn, if you have less than 70 characters, it performs well and it gives really good engagement. Also, the golden combination of what you call LinkedIn image size is 1200 by 627. Now I believe this is the same for Facebook ads as well. So you just have to create like one ad format and you can use it in multiple channels. Next tip is about engaging with those who have shown interest in your business. Now this is really easy, because when someone visited your website or when someone became a contact, they are basically expressing an interest in your brand, right? So why don't you reach out to them again through LinkedIn ads? And that's exactly what you can do in terms of trying to retarget them. And you can use this data to get your ideal target audience in your next campaign, so that you can lower the overall cost per click. So engaging with those who have already shown interest in your business is again an effective way, so that you can maximize your chances of lead generation or conversions on your website. The next tip is avoiding hyper targeting. Now again, a lot of times we want to utilize all the options that LinkedIn provides, job titles, demographics, and interest based options, and then you use a lot of and condition and you keep on narrowing your audience, and ultimately you end up not reaching anyone, or you would see that your audience size is too narrow. Well, that's a problem, right? So avoid hyper targeting, because that will not give enough room for the LinkedIn's algorithm to figure out the winning audience. So that's again a super critical point to keep in mind, and keep your audience range in a sweet spot. So not too broad, not too narrow. A minimum number target can be 500,000 or more. So that way the algorithm has enough room to experiment and reach the right audience. And you can use audience expansion as one of the option. You usually get a checkbox at the bottom where it says like enable audience expansion. So that's again a good way to make sure that you are able to reach enough audience for the campaign objective that you have selected. And also one thing to note is that you can run A/B test in terms of your targeting. Keep a track of who you're targeting now, and if it's working well, great. If it's not working well, then change the targeting and then compare and contrast. So A/B testing is again a great way to ensure that you are able to keep those parameters streamlined in terms of who you want to target. While we're talking about A/B testing, it's what do you call a cycle. You don't always settle down on a winning version and then be fixated with that. It's testing again and again. So when targeting, focus less on demographics, age, gender, and more on business identifier. So here's what you can try. You can basically choose the geography and then job title, and then when it comes to job title, you can add their years of experience to find expert professionals. You can A/B test between like job title versus geography plus skills. So that's again one way to do that. You can use geography, seniority, and company size and as one combination. So again, in terms of seniority, you can say that how many years of experience so and so person needs to have, and you can add the job function. And then finally, you can have like geography, industry, and job function as a combination in terms of targeting. So industry targeting is useful when the product is for a business in a specific industry. So again, these are some combinations that you can try out to see which one works best for your business. The next tip is about using lead gen ads. So again, with lead gen ads, it will help you to generate qualified leads, because again, in this case, LinkedIn is going to automatically pull in like company name, job, seniority, title based on the information that the user has provided. And anytime you reduce the friction, you are able to get more conversions. And as you can see on the right hand side, it's super easy. You just click on a button and it will pre-populate your information, and all the user has to do is hit submit and they're good to go. So again, lead gen ad is again a great campaign that you can run in terms of reaching and promoting your business. Now you can combine sponsored content and sponsored InMail. Again, this is a good combination to try out. Using multiple LinkedIn ad formats can really improve your performance. Sometimes if you combine your InMail campaign with a sponsored content campaign, you will see like more than 40% increase in click-through rate and more than 40% engagement. So try to find different combinations. That's the key point over here. Don't restrict yourself and let it run on autopilot. It's more about experimenting with different ad types, different audiences, different ad copy. As I said, it's an agile process. You have to continue experimenting, test, rinse, and repeat. Use trackable URLs. Again, this is a great tip, because one tool I would recommend is Google Campaign URL Builder. Really, you want to keep a track of which ad is working well for your business. So for example, you want to identify like which ad and which campaign is performing well. To do that, you can use like unique URLs, and you can add like tracking parameters to that URL so that you can track it in Google Analytics or any other tool that you use. So make sure to use different tracking codes for each variation of your campaign to know which one is performing well. Again, that's a great way of analyzing after the campaign performance, and then use the winning version for your next campaign. For example, one ad may be receiving fewer clicks on LinkedIn, but majority of those who click may be going to the website, completing the offer, and making a purchase. Hence, a shorter purchase cycle. Now, these kind of things won't be possible to analyze if you have just one single URL for all the ads. You want to know like which campaign and ad is working well. So that's why tracking URL is a great way to analyze the performance of your overall campaign. Optimize campaign with direct sponsored content. Again, this is a great way to test content variations. In sponsored content, the content is not going to reach to your followers, but it will be basically for new people. So this is a great way to test your content and identify which type of image or messaging, tone of voice works well. And the one thing to keep in mind is when you're testing these parameters, test one variable at a time. Don't do multivariate testing. Test one variable at a time. So that way you can clearly identify which version is responsible for getting better results. And don't turn off your campaign or testing process too early. You got to collect enough data in order to make conclusive evidence or to make what do you call data oriented decisions. And for same audience, you can use like sponsored variations within the campaign, and this will allow the system to automatically optimize your campaign, choosing the winning version with the higher click-through rate. So again, these are some great ways to optimize a campaign and use sponsored content so that you can test different formats. And these learnings are not just applicable for your paid campaign. You can use this data for your organic promotion as well. So again, as you can see, like how you can learn from paid ads, and then you can implement those learnings on your organic side as well. So there are a lot of advantages of this A/B testing. And again, analyze, optimize, repeat. It's rinse and repeat, right? So be mindful of your campaign analytics. See how selected or targeted audience is reacting to your campaign, and it's an ongoing process. Your next campaign might be totally different. It can be for a different product, different audience segment. So you gotta really create these winning recipes for different campaign types, and it's always a continuous and evolving process. So be agile, it's a continuous process, and I would say document your winning versions so that you can share with your team. Again, these are certain things that is super critical when you're promoting an enterprise business. If you're a startup, it's even more important because every dollar matters. So rinse and repeat and document your processes. Now, something to keep in mind when it comes to LinkedIn ads or even Facebook or Google, there is something called as bidding strategies, and you have to really bid on whether it's for a click or for a conversion. Now, when it comes to bidding, keep your bid high. Usually bid $1 or $2 above the range, which automatically is suggested by the campaign manager. And since you only pay like a small amount to be the second highest bidder, it is just better to go with the maximum bid to win the auction. So that's again a super critical, tip. And a lot of times we are like, hey, if the suggested bid is like $5, why don't we bid $4? Well, that's not smart. If it's $5, bid 5.5 or $6. Win the auction, because you're not going to spend a lot more money on that. That's again a good way to make sure that you win the auction and you get maximum reach. Avoid setting daily budget cap too low. Again, there's a lot of ways to go about it, but typically the key is that it may result in very less number of clicks if you set your daily budget too low. And keeping your daily budget cap higher will allow you to know your audience, and it will allow you to improve your performance. You can also adjust or lower your daily caps later in the campaign after you have achieved certain results. For instance, if your daily budget is $15, then try like $30 or $60 to assess how many audience you can reach and how it's performing. So really, again, make sure that you set enough budget, not just in terms of bidding, but also in terms of your daily budget cap. And consider letting go of the cap. For awareness campaign, the main goal is that you want to reach the maximum audience. So just make sure that you are exhausting the reach. And if it's a time sensitive campaign, you just have to go full blast. Consider removing the daily cap so that you can get the message out to your audience in as short time as possible and as early as possible. Sometimes it's also better to set a total budget instead of daily cap, so that LinkedIn algorithm can figure out how it needs to ramp up the spending in a day rather than us trying to limit the reach. So that's again a great way to make sure that you are able to maximize the reach of your audience. Keep an eye on your relevance score. Now, sometimes this is not very applicable, but ad quality score is very relevant for Google ads, and again, engagement rating and all those metrics are super relevant on Facebook ads. But underlying concept is still the same. Make sure that you write good ad copy, you have good ad creative such as image or a video, your landing page experience is good. All those combinations or factors play an important role in your relevance score. So boosting your relevance score, maintaining good account history is critical in terms of making sure that you get maximum performance. Now, one good way to what do you call, increase your performances, leverage matched audience. This is basically nothing but custom audiences. So you are able to retarget your contacts based on your website visitors. But to do that, you need to include like LinkedIn Insight tag, which is basically similar to Facebook Pixel or Google remarketing tag. It will keep a track of how many people visited your website, and depending upon that, you are able to build an audience and you can retarget. In terms of contact targeting, you can use this option to target contacts who are no longer your customers, and then you can exclude like existing customers from your prospecting campaign. So those are some matched audiences options over here. You can use the power of account targeting. Now LinkedIn is great for running account-based marketing campaigns. So you can reach out to professionals who make or influence your buying decisions. You can again consider combining a targeted account list, which is basically company names, right? So you can upload a list of company names. LinkedIn recommends a minimum of 1,000 company names in a CSV format, and that's a great way to create an account-based marketing campaign. So you can basically upload a list and then use what do you call, job titles or job seniority to run those account-based marketing campaigns. But again, don't avoid adding too many criteria so that so that you don't get too narrow in terms of targeting. So LinkedIn is great for account-based marketing. It's super powerful platform. I don't think Facebook has any of such capabilities in terms of company names. So make sure that you use this platform to run account-based marketing campaigns. And as a follow-up of matched audience, if you want to scale further, Lookalike Audience is again a great way. You're able to find new professionals that are similar to your existing customers, website visitors, and target accounts. So for instance, you can use website audiences to find similar audiences in your niche, and that's how you can scale your campaigns and reach a wider audience using Lookalike Audience. So again, avoid adding too many parameters so that you won't have to so that there isn't option of hyper targeting. And again, review our campaign demographics and identify like top engaging audiences so that you are able to create a lookalike. Now one thing to also note is that I think you can also create a lookalike audience based out of video views. So again, it's a great way to first run a video views campaign and then create a lookalike audience out of video views. So those are some options in terms of running campaigns based out of lookalike audiences. And finally, balance your organic content and paid advertising. To build organically, you need to share content on your LinkedIn company page, showcase page, and post. To reach a broader audience, you need to use paid advertising for value-added content in LinkedIn using newsfeed, messaging, or any other ad format. So again, really do this. LinkedIn is a great way to mix and match your organic strategy and paid strategy. If you want to run, if your main objective is to generate leads or conversions, use the paid ads format and run paid campaigns. But if you want to grow organically, increase your followers, promote quality content, and gain new customers or followers, then organic side is a great way. So a combination is always a key. So that's pretty much it, guys. I know this was a lot of information, but if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you.